Guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Flora. So in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys how you can save on a low income living in the UK. If you just see my face for the very first time, I make videos here in the United Kingdom and I make videos about my life experiences living in the UK. If you guys know, or if you guys don't know, for people that see my face for the very first time or watching my videos for the very first time, I have a baby and I've been on maternity leave for the last, only God knows, because obviously I had to stop work earlier than expected because of COVID. Anyways, long story short, I'm on unpaid maternity leave and it's just the one income coming to my family at the moment, but still we're able to afford my car. Now I promise you, every information I'm gonna share here, they're all legal, they're all doable, they're visible, they're realistic, smart objectives. Yes, we have it here, and I just hope that it helps someone out there. There's also going to be a bonus point in the end, so watch to the very end so you don't miss out on any information I'm giving out here. It's key. It's not going to be a long video, I can assure you, so let's just jump straight into it. Okay, so now if you want to save, if you really want to save in the UK, you have to be intentional about it. It's not, there's one thing to say, oh, I really want to save, and then when it's time to save, then I'll do it later. No, you have to be intentional about it. Some people decide to have a goal. I feel like when you have a goal in mind, it helps you to stay focused. So you might think, okay, in the next, I've been in this country for what, a year, 2 years. In the next 5 years, I want to be able to get a mortgage. In the next 5 years, I want to be able to drive this certain type of car. In the next 5 years, I want to be able to live in this kind of house. In the next 5 years, or even in the next 2 years, in the next year, I want to be able, so have a goal in mind. I feel like when you have a goal in mind, it helps you stay focused. Do you get what I mean? But quite honestly, having a goal in mind is not the only reason to save. When I started saving, personally, I'm not going to talk about me and my husband yet, but when I started saving just for saving's sake, because I just felt like it's always good to have money on the side, just in case. I called it my emergency fund, just in case, you know. But you might not be like me. You might be like some other people that, for them to be able to save, they actually have to have a goal. So whichever rocks your boat, just be intentional about it. I'll say number 2 tip I'm gonna give is make a list. Make a list of every single bill. Your council tax, write it down. This is how much I'm gonna be paying. Your mobile phone, write it down. My car insurance, write it down. My electricity bill, write it down. My every single bill that's gonna come off your account, write everything down and make a list of how much everything is. Now the next thing I'm going to say is have a separate account. You must have a separate account so you don't get tempted. Now this, I'm giving you like the strict way, and honestly that's the only, I won't say that's the only way, but this is one of the best ways. Have a separate account. Is it that you decide to go open another account at another bank, or you can have a savings account in the bank that you currently bank with. Either way, just have a separate space where you can put money down. The third thing I'm going to say is, if you've already rented a house, you know, that's fine, but it might be worth looking at renting a cheap apartment. If where you live is cheap, you would be able to save. Your house rent, if you think about it deeply, your house rent is one of the major bills, if not the highest bill that eats into your income. So if you're living in a cheap house, if your house rent is like £400, then you can save more, as opposed to if your house rent was £700. So if you need to move into a slightly cheaper accommodation, please do. If you haven't already moved to the UK, you're thinking of accommodation, You know, I know that for me, when I look at accommodation, the price is one thing I look at, and I look at space and things like that. But you would have to compromise on things like that, because quite frankly, the UK houses are small. So if you just want a decent sized kitchen, you might just go for that decent sized kitchen and compromise on the rest of the rooms and things like that. Whatever, you know, rocks your boat. But I just want to say that if you can get a cheap house, God, you would save money. Okay? Next I'm going to say is, once you get paid, as soon as the money gets into your account, the first thing you want to do is pay yourself. When I say pay yourself, is transfer. Think about how much you want to do. You might say, okay, every month I want to be able to transfer £100 into my savings account, into that other account I told you guys to create. Yeah, do that first. Don't say, oh, I'll do it last. Don't say no. If you need to set a standing order, do it. So standing order is basically at a particular time of the month, the money just leaves your account and goes into that account. If you need to set a standing order for that, do it. Now, the way I think about saving is, I always think to myself, if tomorrow the electricity company says to me, oh, Flora, we've increased your electricity bill from £100 to £150, I'm gonna have to pay that £150. So I'm gonna pretend to myself, this is what works for me. It's all psychology for me. You might be different. I always pretend to myself that, oh, they've increased the council tax bill. Oh, it's no longer £100 a month. It's now £150 a month. Oh, I have to pay it. That's how I think about it. So in my head, I feel like I'm paying a bill. So I'm supposed to think of it as, oh, I'm saving this money. I think about it as, oh, I'm paying a bill. If it's better for you to think about it as you're saving this money, do it. Whichever way, you know, you think, whichever way your brain works, just do whatever suits you. But how I think about things, so I'll be like, oh, they've increased the bill. Because if they've actually increased the bill, you'd have to pay the bill then. I mean, you can't. There's only so much you can do when you call them over the phone and be like, oh, you increased my bill, blah, 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 blah. You still end up paying it. You get what I mean? So I always just think, oh, they've increased my bill by £100. Then I take that £100, my pretend increment of the bill, take it and I put it away. Do you get what I mean? So decide how much that you can comfortably take out of your pay that wouldn't make you feel like, oh God, I can't leave anymore. It can be as little as £50. Literally, just take it off. That'll be the first thing you take off and put into that other account. Then gradually you pay your other bills. You get what I mean? Yeah. The next I want to talk about is budget. You have to budget. Budget. Say to yourself, so after you've paid off all the mandatory bills, council tax, water bill, electricity bill, which other bills? Phone bill, all of those bills. Think to yourself, I have to have a budget. So I have a budget on how much you spend on food. We have a budget in my house of roughly how much should go on food. And this is because one time we decided to keep all our receipt. You know, I'll just show you for the one that I was like, actually, I want to know how much I spend roughly on food. So we kept all our receipt for that month. And I looked at everything and I was like, okay, this is roughly how much we spend on food. So I decided I'm going to cap it, because that month that we spent, we bought everything that we needed, you know. So I capped it. I was like, okay, this is how much we're going to spend on food. So what you want to do is budget. Say, okay, if you're a family of, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, you can decide, okay, £200 is how much I want to spend monthly on food, and stick to that budget. Don't think of, oh, let me just buy this oxtail. No, don't buy the oxtail. Buy the chicken. Don't be discouraged and don't be sidetracked. What's the word I'm looking for? Don't be distracted. Yeah, stick to that budget, because it really helps. If we're ever going to do anything that wasn't part of the plan, so for example, a friend just calls us, oh, we're actually having I don't know, a birthday, and oh, want for you to come. Now that might not be part of our plan for that month, but what we might decide to do is, okay, we're going to go to this friend's birthday. We're going to need to stay in a hotel, because guess what, this place is maybe far away from where we live, and we're going to have to pay for extra petrol, because it's far away from where we live. All these extra bits that wasn't part of the plan for that month, would have to then do an extra shift to cover up. And also for things like, oh, a friend calls you, oh please, I need money, I'm in great need, and you feel the need to send this money to this friend, family, whatever, we do an extra shift to cover. Do not take out of your savings to, I'm gonna sound bad, but I'm telling you how it is. Do not take out of your savings to, pay for a friend. Except maybe if it's a life and death situation, then I can understand. But do not take out of your savings to borrow a friend money. Do not take out of your savings to buy clothes that you don't need, to go for birthday parties, to book hotels. No, that's not part of the plan. Because guess what? Remember I told you that money you're putting down into your savings account was a bill. You've paid that bill. So take your mind off that money. The money was actually for council tax increments, the increment on the council tax, or the increment on the phone bill. So the money is not there. So pretend like the money is not there, because really and truly you've paid it off. So if someone comes to you and they're like, life and death, I mean if it's life and death, then obviously, but anything else, do not take out of your savings. Do not take out to borrow people money. I just want to say it here, okay? So yeah, do an extra shift to cover things like birthday gift, do an extra shift to cover wedding gift, do an extra shift to cover holiday destinations, mini vacation, Now I appreciate that things don't always go as planned, but whatever that's going to eat into your pocket that wasn't part of the plan from the beginning of the month, you'd have to find a way to do an extra shift for it. Never ever take out of your savings. That's why I said in the beginning that the savings has to be something that you can do away with. Don't go put like a huge chunk, like I don't know, £300, and then it means that you're only left, by the time you've done your shopping and everything, it's only £1 that's left in your account. No, because you're going to struggle. There are going to be days where you want to wear your jacket and you see that, oh, there's a hole, oh, I need a new jacket. Do you get what I mean? So there are going to be days that, oh, you want to put on your shoes and, oh, the shoes that you sport, I need a new pair of shoes. So put something that you can willingly and easily look away from, is what I'm trying to say. Next point is, if you can pay for things yearly, do it. As opposed to monthly. I say this because things like car insurance, house insurance, things like that, you realize that when you pay upfront, so when you just pay the money for the year, it's cheaper than when you pay monthly. And so if you can do that, just pay off, so that you know that, oh, when my pay comes, the only thing that needs to go off is just council tax, water, electricity, gas, and I'm good to go. Not the extra house insurance, car insurance, this one, that one. No, you don't want that. Do you get what I mean? So, and also if you're going to buy things these days, a lot of companies say, like, for example, you want to buy a television, and television, I don't know, television costs £600. But you can pay instrumentally. If you have that £600, just pay it, so that when it's time for you to get your pay, you can have more money to save. Because then if you're paying for example, you bought a TV and you have to pay instrumentally, so you'll be paying that instrumentally. Then your microwave, you're paying for that instrumentally as well. Then you have your couch, you're paying for instrumentally. Then you have your, like, the list is ongoing. So if you have the opportunity to pay for something outright, just outrightly pay for it. I personally would do that. I always do that anyways. I would always prefer that method. Be prepared to miss out on a lot. Be prepared. Now I have to say that for us, COVID has helped us in a way, because COVID happened and then there was no, there was no eating out. Eating out was crossed off. Going to places was crossed off. So I didn't need to buy extra clothes. I mean, even for maternity as well, I was just wearing a lot of my husband's clothes. I didn't have to buy maternity wears. If I was going out, if there was no COVID at the time that I fell pregnant for my little one, I would have been going out. I need to buy maternity wears. I need to go shopping for those things. I would need to go out, eat out. Friends would have been inviting us everywhere. We would have been having fun. I wouldn't have been able to save. So I would say, be prepared to miss out on a lot of outings, on a lot of social events, a lot of shopping, entertainment stuff. Prepare to miss out, but you have a goal. So it's not every function that you would need to attend. If the function is free, then yeah, but if you'd have to pay for it, you always have to think about, do I have this extra money to go for this thing, to pay for this thing? Yeah. So another thing I'm going to say is cut down on subscription. At one time in our lives, my husband wants to pay for Roku TV, because I'm Nigerian. I like my Nigerian movies. I like my Nollywood. Roku TV, Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever. There was also another one. They're just like, and I just never watch them. I'm pleased to tell you that there's a lot of, if you're a Nollywood fan like me, there's a lot of free movies on YouTube. So all these little subscriptions here and there, cut down on them, because you might not necessarily need all of them. We've been subscribed to Netflix for the longest time, and I can tell you that I only watch Netflix maybe once in 2 months. But I still feel the need of it being in my life, even though I don't even use it. So if you're like me and you really want to save, then cut down on it. There are lots of free websites that you can watch some free movies. So also, meal prep. When you go to work, I assure you, this one will save your money more than anything. Always take your own food to work. This idea of, oh, I'm just going to get a sandwich will not even fill you up. The fizzy drink will not fill you up. Take your own food to work. Cook your own homemade meal. Take it to work. It would save that 3-4 pounds you spend every day, 5 days a week at work. Imagine you spend £5 on your lunch every day. In a week, that's £25. In a month, that's £100 that you could actually put towards your savings. So cut down this idea of buying work food. Please don't do that. This 2021, if you want to save, do not do that, honestly. And lastly, these are my bonus tips. So I'll say, if you have a big house, my two tips is, if you have a big house, you can always rent one room out to someone that you know, and they pay you, a little bit of money for that room, and then you can save that money. Or if you're single and it's just you at the moment, you can just go into a shared accommodation and just rent that room. If you're really fussy, get an ensuite. So it means that the room comes with the ensuite, and all you have to share with other people is just the lounge, which you might not even use, and the kitchen. And with the kitchen, you'll have your own cupboard. Most places you have your own cupboard, you have your own, area to put your things, and it's only for a short period of time. So these two extra tips, it's a secret. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I hope it's not too long. I'm going to cut it down as much as I can so it's not too long. If you did enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Feel free to ask me any question down below. I'm happy to answer. And until I come your way next time, remain blessed. Bye.